Hello, hello. I see Darryl's already here. How's it going, Darryl? So welcome to the live stream. Hopefully we'll get some more people in here. And tonight I wanted to talk about a few things. One being some polls that I recently did. And we'll talk about some of the results of those polls. They had a lot of people vote in them. And I think it makes for some good conversation. So we'll go over those. And I've got some finds that people sent in that I'd like to show everyone, and we will go from there. Can you hear me okay, Darryl? I see you there. Digging Darryl says hello. I picked Thursday night might not be a good night. I'm competing with quarter hoarder, so yeah. Anyway, hopefully we'll get some more people in here. You got your HF2 coil yet, Darryl? Or did you move up on the list? Let me know if you did. I know I moved up on the list, but I'm still pretty high up on that list. So it's going to be a while before I can get my hands on one of those. So we will see how that goes. It looks like my volume might be up a little bit too much. All right. All right. But anyway, it's good to see you here, Darryl. And hopefully we're going to see some more people popping in here soon. I don't know. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see if anybody's there with this app that I use. But let's see. Joel said you'll be next. Okay, so did you get on Joel's list? Buy, sell, trade. I'm on LMS Metal Detecting's list, but I am way up on that thing. I'm like number 20 or something, 24, I think. So yeah, I'm way up on that list. But that's good news. If Joel says you'll get one on the next shipment when it pops in, that's good news. You'll be able to get out there and start playing around with it and see how it does for you. So, yeah, that's cool. But let's see where we're at here. And Digging Dude, what's up, Digging Dude? Hey there from New York. Hey there from hot South Carolina. Man, I tell you what, for the last few days here, it has been a scorcher. Like, we've had heat indexes over 100 for the last like 2 or 3 days. So it has been brutal. And my job is predominantly outside. I cut grass, weed eat, stuff like that. So man, I'm telling you what, I was about to go. It wasn't pretty. My only respite from the grass cutting is that one day out of the week I drive a garbage truck. So that's my one rest day. But Dig and Do you use a DS2, right? or do you not use one? And another question I have, if you do use a DS2, are you going to get the HF2 coil, or do you already have the HF2 coil? That's just a question. Darryl said his is, oh, your heat index is 109. Whew, man, I don't even know. I didn't check it earlier, but yesterday it was 107 here. So, yeah. Yeah, so I know a lot of people are waiting on that coil. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I mean, I'd like to have it, sure. I'm not sure if I'm ready to drop the money on it at the moment, but and I'm on a waiting list, but I'm way up on it, so we'll see what happens. There's a lot of people out there testing it and playing with it, seeing what they can do, so it may be good. We'll see. Yeah, I feel the same way, Digging Dude. I'm not sure if, like I said, I'm on a waiting list, and I'm way up on that list, so it's not like I'm going to get it anytime soon on that list that I'm on, but and maybe by then, there'll be a lot more information, field information. That's what I look for. I don't look for just random stuff. I look for people that test it in the field and use it out in the field and see how it reacts. So that's I'm watching more and more of those videos, and that's kind of what I'm looking for to see what kind of results people get with that. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. Wait and see what happens with the final updates. Totally agree. And but yeah, I mean, because let's face it, that's not like a cheap coil. It's for a lot of people, $3.99. That's a pretty big drop in the bucket, so to speak, for a coil. Digging Darryl says, I want to hunt parks and sidewalk strips. I will use the 9-inch coil any other time. And I agree with you on that one too, Digging Darryl, because a lot of the places that I can go quickly here where I'm at are going to be parks and curb strips and things like that. So in home sites, I've got at least 2 right now that I can, along with a church site that I can go to pretty much any time I want. So, and I really do want to see how that coil reacts in those trashy areas like that. So yeah. Digging Dude says, I'm curious how I could set it up on my wicked iron littered foreshore site, but gonna wait. Yep. Darryl says he's paying $325 from Joel. That's an excellent deal, man. That's even better than well, you do get a little bit of a discount with LMS if you're a customer of his, but I will say it's not that much. So that's a darn good price, man. Definitely a good price. I was kind of wondering where Joel went. I mean, I know he's still out there because I on his Facebook page and I kind of look at the stuff on his page and all that. But I know he's still out there. But I was kind of wondering where he went because I didn't see him on the stream much anymore on SRC. So, or SRA. Sorry, SRA. But yeah. Anyway, and Brian's out there doing a lot with this coil. So I have to wait and see what happens. And but yeah, man, this might be a short stream tonight. If we don't get some more people in here, man. Let's see. Digging Dude, I really like using my 9-inch coil at trashy parks in New York. Me too. Well, not New York. But yeah, that's another area I want to test it in is the parks here. I want to test the HF2 coil in the park, but you know, I do really well with the 9-inch round coil. With in the parks here, so I really love that. I love that That probably the 9-inch is probably the one I use the most on the Deus-2, and I've got all three of them. But I've done some field hunting with the 13 and the 11. I'm over an hour away from a beach, so I really don't get to do beach hunting much, even though I really would love to go. So we'll see. And we got Talca Detector. Hey, Talca Detector, what's up, my friend? My friend from Chile. Hola, amigo. ¿Cómo estás? Talca is in the house. Workman's Adventures is here also. Great to see you, Workman's Adventures. We were just sitting around chatting about the Deus-2 and the HF2 coil. I got a few things that I do want to talk about tonight and show some finds that people sent in. But Darryl says the EMI elimination with the HF2 coil is going to be great. Yeah, you know, and I've been having some problems lately with I'll say problems with EMI. I got a couple spots that I hunt, man. It gets so bad that I've actually switched my Deus-2 over to mono to hunt because it was so terrible. I couldn't get rid of it. No matter what I did, I'd drop sensitivity, I'd do noise cancels, and it just was still there. So I just ended up going to mono. Talca, I gotta say that my Spanish is not great, so I do know a little. I know a little Spanish, un poco. I do my best, but I'm glad to see you here on the live. I'm glad you're in the chat. That's what I really like to see. I like to see, you know, even if you're talking to yourselves in the chat, you know, that's community, man. It's conversation. So Dingadoo says HF2 for me. They really need to improve the VDI on USA coins for trashy parks. Yeah. And now it was my understanding that this new 3.04, I think, was supposed to take care of some of those issues with VDIs, but I'm not sure. I've done some hunting. I don't have the HF2 coil, but I have done some hunts using the new update with the 9-inch, the regular 9-inch coil. And what I ended up doing, since I probably won't get that coil for a long time, is I went back to 2.0. So, and because I was doing fine with 2.0, and I'm gonna stick with that for right now. Talca Detector, I'm fine, my friend. I'm glad you're doing very well. My shirts, it hurts, Talca. I hope it doesn't hurt. Talca won a shirt and I sent it to him. Did you receive the shirt, Talca? Let me check something real quick, because the shipping for Chile was kind of hard to track. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, it still says shipped, and it's your shirt's coming from by DHL. So let me see what this says. Okay, it says it arrived in Chile on the 19th of June, and it was processed at a local distribution center on 26th June, which is today. So, yeah, you should probably get that anytime. I hope I'm understanding you. You said your shirt still hurts. I'm not exactly sure if the translation got lost there, but it's all good. You should get it anytime if you don't have it. And Workman's Adventures, I got my shirt. Thank you. You're welcome. I hope you, well, you already emailed me. I hope you like it and hope it fits good and all that good stuff, man. It's a trial with this, with the shirts and stuff like that. There's a couple of different types of shirts that I could offer. One is the Bella Canvas, which is what you got, and the other type of shirt that I could probably go with is the Comfort Colors, which the Comfort Color shirts are really nice. The only problem with those is it bumps the cost up by about $1 or $2 on Comfort Colors, but your Bella Canvas shirt should be pretty soft, and yeah, it does. Love it. Okay, good. Yeah, the Bella shirts are pretty soft normally, and I've got a few of them. This one I'm wearing now is a Bella Canvas. They make pretty good shirts. So, but yeah, oh, man, we're moving right along. But yeah, I wanted to talk about a couple of things here, and I'm going to bring up a poll. This is one of the polls that I did, and I just want to talk about it a little bit. So it got 40 votes. I don't know if it's gotten any more since I screenshotted it, but it got 40 votes. And I asked the question of what's the longest time you spent metal detecting in one session. And, just kind of, for me, just curiosity, really, that I wanted to kind of get my finger on the pulse of how much time that people spend out there. And it's oh yeah, Talca, yeah, that when the video has Spanish subtitles, you'll be able to know what I'm saying. Yeah, that's my channel does have auto dub, but I don't know how long it takes for YouTube to do that, the auto dub thing. So I just don't know how long it takes them to do it. Southern Relic Adventures. Good evening. How you doing, Brian? It's good to see you. Brian's in the house. We got Brun Free. You're from Australia, right? I hope I got that right. Forgive me if I did not, but you spend about 6 hours on average. Yeah, and when you look at the poll here, that was the 43% said all day, and but 30% said 4 to 6 hours. So, and I think that's about the average for a lot of people out there, and is like half a day. And I know there's a lot of people to go all day long too. I've done that before, and if I do that, I'm taking a break somewhere in the middle. But yes, you're from Australia. Good. I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you. And again, Brian's here. I've been watching your videos, Brian. I've been seeing all the cool stuff that you guys been finding with that HF2. That's really cool. Really cool. That coil seems to be performing pretty well. The 6 hours you did included exploring and hunting ground. Okay. Yep. I love getting out there, exploring and looking around. Most definitely. So, but yeah, just to cover real quick what the results were, it ended up, like 43% said all day, but the next highest answer was 4 to 6 hours. So, and I think that's probably a good representation of probably what averages are. Talca says, now I have Facebook. Yes, I do have Facebook, Talca. It's DC, or I have a page, DCM Detects. I'm not really active on it a whole lot right now. Yeah, I hope to be more active in the future. But yeah. Yeah, Brian, you're welcome. I mean, the types of videos I like to watch, especially, you know, with that new Coil coming out, is I want to see somebody out there hunting with it. I mean, I do the videos of, you know, of just, you know, in the backyard. I mean, that's cool too. But for me, to see somebody out there actually hunting with that Coil and digging those targets and finding them, you know, just, you know, on the spot, you know, that's what I like to see. And I think I just made my camera go into auto frame. Let me take that off. I can't stand that. But yeah, so. Let me, Darryl says he's been relaxing after a difficult day. I'm telling you, it's been hot, man. It has been hot.
It was what, like 100 degrees yesterday?
Yep. Digging Dude says, yes, live digs are the best videos. Yes, they are. I totally agree with that statement for sure. Brunfree says, oh, you hunt ruins. Man, I bet that is something else to hunt ruins. And you are most certainly finding some really old stuff. You know, over here, you know, for us, it's a lot different. Old things in the U.S. are different than old things in other countries for sure. So, yeah. I'm going to move on to the next poll that I did just real quick. And this one was, how do you approach metal detecting? This one got 52 votes. And basically everybody said all of the above, or the biggest percentage was all of the above. But the question was, are you treasure hunting, looking for valuables? Are you into the history? Are you just enjoying the outdoors? And it was all of the above. So that was pretty cool. But one of the biggest, the polls that got the most, the one that got the most comments probably was this one. And I want to get my finger on the pulse of everybody here as to what you do as well. And, see what everybody thinks. Miami Detecting, Jess is here. Yay. She made it. It's good to see you, Jess. I'm glad to see you made it. And Brun says, I like the history digs, coins at parks, etc. Okay, but more interesting at ruins where history of items can be researched that belonged at that ruin. I bet that is very, I bet that's very fascinating. Hunting ruins. I can only imagine what that must be like to be able to find history like that. That's got to be just so amazing. So yeah, so here's the question for tonight, really. And what does most everybody do as far as headphones goes? I got a lot of good comments on this with the headphones, which I agree pretty much with what most people are saying. And, you know, you don't have to wear them. For me, it's situational. And I found that with most people, it is situational. So, and 63% said yes. 37% said no, they do not wear headphones. And if you kind of breeze through the comments, you'll see the different things that people were saying. And I really agree with probably most everything. Just like Eric Meek said, it's too hot in Texas. I'll wear them in the winter. So right now, where I'm at,
Finished your mascot. Finished your mascot.
nice,
He's blue for now. We're gonna see that.
nice.
He's gonna turn brown eventually.
I was looking at my daughter's picture she drew for me, so it's cool. But yeah, Eric says it's too hot. I agree with that. I mean, for me, and Brian can attest to this too. South Carolina heat does not do well with headphones. It's quite brutal at times. Some other comments I got were, at the beach, some people wear them. In state parks, frequently no. Just like when he hikes alone for safety, he wants to be fully aware of the surroundings. Yeah, absolutely. And Digging Dude says, so you still prefer to use the headphones with your Nexus? That Nexus looks like a really cool machine. And you do a lot of videos on the Nexus, Digging Dude. And I've seen a few of those. So I really like watching the videos you do also. You got the blocks and everything. That's really cool. A couple other comments that kind of came into not to annoy others. That's another aspect to think about too. If you're in parks and things like that, if you've got a detector that's like really, or you got your volume up loud, you may not want to disturb other people or annoy them, right? So that's one thing to think about. Here's an interesting one here from Darren. He just recently got a manicure, and he said he started using the headphones, and he feels like he can hear better details of the tones while wearing them. And I think a lot of people can attest to that too. And he said, I also think they helped me find my first 2 gold rings Sunday because I could hear enough of a difference in the tone. So yeah, definitely advantageous to wear them. It's all situational, I think. And Jess says, I too only wear them when I have to, due to other people around. They get hot to wear down here. Yeah, they're super hot. Like, with my Deus too, I love wearing the XLs, the XL headphones, but I can't wear them in the summer. They're just way too hot, and I use the XLs normally when it cools off. And yeah, Digga Deuce is absolutely correct. Yeah, definitely, man. That when it's hot, I just can't do it. So there was a few more comments that came in on that too, and this was an interesting one from Dustin. He said, I don't know about other detectors, but my AT, Garrett, I'm assuming he's talking about a Garrett AT. My AT models don't have a volume control, and I don't like how loud they are without them. Plus, sometimes I want to be stealthy. So yeah. And I've never used a Garrett AT Pro. I didn't realize that about the AT Pros. So I didn't know they did not have a volume control. That's interesting. That seems like that would be a standard feature. But Toby said, I can hear the deep signals better and concentrate more when wearing headphones. If not, I'll pay more attention to other things. I'm still aware of my surroundings. Ferris Grump commented and said, I hunt along the ocean shoreline, so I need headphones to quiet the outside noise, and it keeps people from talking to me. I love that one. It keeps people from talking to me. That's really cool. Brun Free said the headphones are great at windy sites. Yeah, and that kind of comes along with the beach thing, if you're at the beach and the wind's really whipping out there, it's probably really hard to hear that speaker. I'm not a beach detectorist. I would like to go some, but I just haven't been. And but they're great at windy sights for me, and Aussie bird life is noisy in the bush. All right. Yep. I have to wear headphones because my hearing's getting bad. Hey, join the crowd, digging Darryl. Mine too. Let me try to catch up. Brunfrey says it makes even a simple nail just wonderful. It does, right? You hear every little signal. Yep. Awesome. All right. But yeah, those are just some of a few of the polls that I did recently. And DKM is sorry you're late. You're not late. You're right on time. Glad to have you. It's good to see you here, DKM, and I'm happy you were able to join. It's great to see you. I'm about to move into the finds showcase and showcase a few of the finds that people sent in, and I do want to remind everyone that this QR code here that just popped up, that's gonna pop up on the screen for you, that's my excuse me, that's my form, my say hey submit a find form. And I've gotten a lot of good responses on this form, just from people that just want to say hey. So, and they tell stories to me, and they talk about finds. It's really cool to hear from people. I love hearing from people. So just take note of that form. If you want to submit a find, just say hey, tell me a story, ask a question. I can't guarantee I can answer every question out there because I'm not an expert, okay? So, but I do my best to try to help people. All right, let's move into so DKM, you said you got here late. The subject was headphones we were talking about. And do you wear headphones when you detect? Brunfree also says also headphones at ruins just transport me into history of that era and you zone out. Yeah. I talk about mindset a good bit in a lot of the videos I do, and yeah, I know what the feeling that you're talking about. Absolutely. You can just, go into that zone, especially when you're in a place like that. All right. So I'm going to go into the find spotlight, and we're going to look at some finds that people submitted. I've got 3 different submissions this week, and we're going to have a look at what people found. And the first submission came from Darryl Blackburn, and he was hunting an old 1909 property in southern Indiana, and these are some of the finds that he had there. And DKM says, great question. I use wireless module and earbuds. Okay. Which detector are you using, DKM? Which one? But he found a couple of really old buckles there on the left. And he's got 3 buttons. He's got a wheat penny. When I zoomed in on this thing, I think it was like it's a 1920 something wheat penny. He's got an old key here, and I'm not exactly sure what this is on the bottom right. So, if anybody's got an idea, you might want to pop that up in the chat. I'm not really sure what that is, but the buttons are I'm not sure about Capital Brand either. I don't know if that's overall, button, jeans, jacket. Could be anything, right? Same thing with the one in the middle and the one on the left. I'm a button person myself. I really love buttons, and tokens are two things that I love to find out there. So you have to excuse me taking a drink here every now and then. My voice starts going on me. DKM says, can keep one bud in while listening to the surrounding. So you use a Manicore and an Equinox 800. All right, cool. So you've got the module, the MindLab module. Okay. That's the WM. I forgot what the number is. It's a WM something. Right. All right. So let's move. Thank you for that.
Love you.
Love you too.
I'm not happy with the design. So I'm going to redesign once I come
My
back.
daughter just gave me a kiss on the cheek. Love it. I love it. DKM says, yep, okay. Good deal. So Darren had a couple more finds, and these finds he found at his niece and his sister's property. And he's got an old buckle there on the left side, and he's got the Shell presidential token. Has anybody? Oh, yeah. Absolutely, man. Darryl says people sure did lose a lot of buttons back in the day. They sure did. It's almost like buttons were just popping off of clothes everywhere, right? Just going all over the place. Yeah, I love finding them, though. And DKM says WMO8 for the Equinox, WMO9 for the Manicore. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I don't have the module. I've actually got the ML85 headphones for my Elite and my Xterra Pro. So, Workman's Adventure says WSM09. Okay, yeah. Yep. So I got a quick question while we're on this page right here with the presidential token. Have anyone here found one of those? I found one in my local park, the Shell presidential token, and it was I think mine was a John Quincy Adams. He didn't send a picture of the flip side, but when he flipped this over, it says Shell President or Shell Game. I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's a pretty cool token. But they're aluminum, so they don't hold up well in the ground at all, or at least mine didn't. It was pretty pitted. But I looked those up, and back when those were popular, I think they started releasing them in 1968, and they were a part of a game. Like, you would go to a Shell station and get a card, with the little holes in it, and you collect these coins. Every time you filled up with gas, you'd get a coin, and you could stick it in that little cardboard thing and collect them. So I've only found one so far since I've been detecting, but yeah, just curious if anybody else has found one of those before. All right, and then I had some more finds. These were sent in by Wayne. He found these finds with his Garrett Ace 400 in neighborhood yards and ball fields in rural Wisconsin. So yeah, there on the left side, he's got a dog tag, 1923. Those are cool to find. Got a ring here in the center, and he's got I think that's the Liberty head, I believe, right? It's is that 1856? I think that's the Liberty head, 1856. But you'll see it's got a hole in the center, and yeah, a lot of people used to do that. They punch holes in their coins. And I've got a 1941 George the Sixth penny, and it had a hole near the top, like someone was using it for a necklace or something. It was a cool find. But yeah, Chippo just popped in. Hey Chippo, how's it going? Just wanted to pop in and say hello. Can't stay tonight. Hope everyone's doing well and happy hunting. Well, I hope you're doing well too, Chippo, and happy hunting to you as well. It's good to see you. Brun Free says, I like finding dog tags. Really old ones, because early settlers in Oz had to register dogs. Oh, what's the earliest dog tag you've ever found? I'd like to know. I don't know how early dog tags went back over here. This one's 1923, and I've heard of some that are older than that, but I'm not sure how far back they've gone. And Digging Darryl says, found probably 6 of them so far, and I think you're probably talking about the shell token, right? Yeah. And Brun says oldest dog tag is 1864. That's awesome. That is awesome. I love the history. I really do. That's one of my favorite things about detecting. Yeah, I mean, I go I just love detecting, just period. I love it. So, but yeah, the history really gets me. 1864 was the year that the dog tag law was introduced. That is a cool find. So you found one from the year that they introduced the dog tags. That's really cool. Really cool. And the next set of finds, or the next find, he only sent one, was this one comes from Gopher, and Gopher's from Canada. And you could read here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it's a kid's pen from a TV show. Or no, a radio show, sorry, from the 1930s. And that is a really cool find. I don't have a picture of the back of it. That's just the front. But it came from a show called The Air Adventures of Jimmy Allen. And it was sponsored by some gas stations. And he found this one in Ontario. So that's really neat. You know, finding old pins and stuff like that. That's really cool. Really, really cool. And that was the last find that came in, or the last find that somebody sent me was this one from Gopher. And Digging Dude says, not my oldest, but I found a 1946 dog tag made of lead. Thought that was strange. I don't know that I've heard of a lot of people finding lead dog tags. So yeah, that seems like it might be a little bit odd to find one made of lead, I would guess, right? I found a vaccination tag from, I think it was 1960, early 60s. I don't remember the exact date on that one. But it was down here. They had the vaccination tags. It would say rabies vaccination on it. And to show that the dog had its vaccine for rabies. So yeah, that's cool. But it's great to see everybody here tonight, and I'm glad that you're able to drop in and just kind of have a chat and talk. I love getting together with people and talking about metal detecting. So it's I did have one story that someone sent to me, and So on the Say Hey form, if you ever fill it out to send a find or a story or anything like that, there is a block on there that you could check whether or not you want me to share it. Because if you check no, that you just, wanted to ask a question or, send a story or a find in, it's up to you. If you say no, that you don't want me to share it, I won't share it. So, but he said I could share this story, and I'm going to share it here in just a moment because I think it's pretty cool, and it really shows, with detecting, there's a lot of things that we do at detectors that really make an impact on people. So, Brun says, I also like tokens from Professor Holloway's. He sold medicine potions, and I like old medicine bottles. I like the bottles too. Sometimes I find bottles in fields and in the woods where I hunt, but I haven't found anything to my knowledge that's super old, I don't think. But I do enjoy finding them. And so tell me a little bit about Professor Holloway's, Brun. I'm not familiar with that, obviously. It's where I'm at. So, I mean, he sold medicine potions, but what were the tokens like? And also, if you found some of those, if you wouldn't mind sharing them, please send them. Send me a picture of one of those, and I'd love to share it on a stream and show everyone what it looks like. That'd be really cool. But this story's really long. This came from Darryl, but to give you a summary of the story, he was detecting, and he's from Southern California, and he was detecting on the beach, and a woman asked him to help her find her keys, and or to help find keys of some girls that were not related to her, and gave him a rough area where she'd been playing. Anyways, so he searched for 45 minutes or so, and he did find the keys, and he tried to turn them into the restaurant, and they were like, whatever. They blew him off. And so he went to catch the shuttle back home, I'm guessing. And the bus driver asked him if he found any keys, and he's like, yeah, I did. And so he raced up to the parking lot and saw a Jeep was already on a flatbed tow truck, and it was just about to be taken away. And as they pulled up, the bus driver yelled to the girls, "Hey, he found your key." He says chaos ensued as they screamed and were all excited. I got off the bus, showed her the find. She was beaming. We raced over to the tow truck and pressed the clicker to show the driver that she had her key back. Everyone, minus the tow truck driver, I'm sure, right, was excited that they were able to get back to their school. And it turns out all four of them played soccer for UC Riverside in Southern Cal. And, he says, whenever someone asks what's the best thing you found, I tell them that story. I've found rings and stuff for others, but this one was pretty epic. I mean, that's something he did as a detectorist that really made a huge impact on somebody. Now I do know that I've heard stories of people returning things to people that lost them and they didn't get much of a reaction at all. I know that happens also sometimes, but when you get a reaction like that, that's really cool. I really think that's cool. And then I had another person, I didn't get his name, but he commented on one of the videos that I did, and he was talking about finding a ring at the beach. They had only been married 4 months, and he found this ring for a guy, and returned it to him. And they were so happy they were going to buy him dinner or pay him for finding the ring, and he turned all that down. And he told them, just seeing how happy you are that I just gave this back to you is enough for me. So that's really cool. You know, it's that's neat. So Brun's got me an explanation here for he was a traveling quack doctor type of guy from England. He came to Oz and sold medicines for ailments from his traveling horse and buggy. Yeah, that's like the old what is it? I think sometimes when you watch the old westerns here in the U.S., you know, there will be the old snake doctor. They call them snake doctor or quacks or whatever, you know, that would have all these potions. You know, they'd be traveling with a wagon, you know, and they were supposed to cure all these ailments that people had. You know, they were basically, you know, scam artists, most of them. But yeah, that's neat. Digging Dude says, cool story. Yeah, that is a cool story. I love hearing stuff like that. I love sharing it with people. I think that's really, you know, those are the kind of things that give Detectorist a good name. You know, it puts us in a good light as a Detectorist when you do good things like that. And I love hearing about it. So, and for some reason let me get rid of that. That comment popped back up. Let me go back to this screen for just a minute. And Brun says, I also like big government arrow padlocks. You know, I haven't found many padlocks. I did find an old sleigh maker, but I mean, that's not for here. It's not really anything to jump up and down and get too excited about. But I'd love to find some really old, like smokehouse lock or something like that that's mostly intact. That'd be awesome. But yeah. That's a really cool story about Professor Holloway's Brun. I like that. That's cool. Hey, I do have a question for everyone that's still here. And what do you do with your finds when you're hunting a site? How do you organize them at all? That's just a question for everybody. Brun says they were put on trunks that had goods on ships from England to Oz to prevent theft. The locks had a special mark on them. Only certain people had the keys. That's interesting. That's cool. Arrow padlocks. I love hearing about stuff like that. Things that I don't know about, I love hearing about. I like learning. That's just me. I love to learn. But I know I usually take my finds and I try to organize them by the site that I'm hunting, because sometimes you'll find, and this is not like totally my idea by any means, but I got this from Buckle Boy Metal Detecting. And like he was saying in one of his videos, I totally agree with it, that you can find pieces, especially if it's a site you're going back to regularly, you can find one piece on one hunt and of something, right? And then you might go back on a second or third or fourth or fifth, whatever, hunt, and actually find another piece of that something. And he said he always keeps his finds sorted by sight. And even if he doesn't know exactly what it is, he will keep it, together. That way, when you find something that's broken, it could always be possible you go back on a subsequent hunt and you find the other half of it or the other piece or whatever that fits to it. So I tend to go with his reasoning on that, and I try to keep all my finds in one place, and I organize them by site. So Brun says, I clean most everything I find. Then I group them for each ruin. I do talks at nursing homes and I show people. Then I often give them to landowners in a display, or I do a photo book for them. That is awesome. Right now I'm working on a display for the church permission that I've been hunting. And because I've been finding some really cool stuff on that site. And I want to do a display and give it to them. Yeah, that's really neat. I imagine you get a pretty good reaction when you do the talks at the nursing homes, right? DKM says, unfortunately, I keep everything. It's beach weather, so tent stakes forever. And it speaks volume about how people don't clean up after themselves. Thanks for sharing my key fob story. And I'm sorry, DKM, I didn't correlate your YouTube handle with Darryl. But yeah, I really wanted to share that story, and I'm glad you clicked yes on that one, because that was a really cool story. And you made those girls night, day, whatever time it was. I'm sure they were very thankful for that. So, and Jess says, first, my granddaughter thinks she gets first pick. I save everything for annual wrap up. The Hot Wheels I give out to other kids. Gold gets sold. Coins get cashed in. Vintage coins get saved. That's pretty much my MO on that. If it's clad, I don't get into the weeds about clad and try to look for double strikes or any of that stuff. If it's clad, I'll clean it up and I'll cash it in. I mean, the amount of clad that I've cashed in the past, I bought a pinpointer last time with my clad that I cashed in. So it adds up. Most definitely. And gold, you may as well sell gold right now, right? The price it is. Don't blame you there at all. And vintage coins get saved. Yep, I do the same thing. If it's an old Merc or some kind of old coin like that, or a unique coin or token, even, I save tokens also. So, Okie Digger says, sorry I'm so late. Nah, it's all good, man. It is all good. You're here, right? And I'm glad to see you here. It's good to see everyone here. Brun says, I kind of think history belongs to everyone, so I show and tell. Yeah. Then I get more permissions constantly. See, and that's awesome. It's, a lot of the things that we do in the hobby as a detectorist can work for you. How am I trying to word this? But like you said, you do the show and tells and you get permissions. A lot of it has to do with how we present ourselves as a detectorist and how much we give back to the landowners, or even like you said, you're going to a nursing home, you're doing show and tells and all that. You're giving back to the community. And that goes a long way. It really goes a long way. Darryl. Darryl, it's good to see you. Digging Dude says, one fun thing myself and my two other friends do is a friendly competition. We have the blue coin folders for Mercury dimes, Roosevelt silver Washington quarters, and Indian head pennies. What are you talking about, the blue coin folders? Because I'm not familiar with that, Digging Dude. But that sounds like something that I'd like to know about for sure. Is it like a little card where you put the coins in it and collect them? The end of the year, we see who's in the lead in each category. That's cool. I also make display cases for landowners, and especially the older colonial and 1800 sites. Yep. And I'm sure they appreciate it. I'm sure they do. And Darryl's got a dip. This is great. Thanks for doing this. Looking forward to the next one. All right. Yeah. I'll see you on the next one, Darryl. I appreciate you stopping by. Digging Darryl says, I save all my clad and cash it in at the end of the year. That money's usually spent on something for metal detecting. Yep. That's exactly what I do with mine. It goes right back into the hobby. So yeah, goes right back into it. The blue coin collecting folders by, is that Wyman? I have to check those out. I have to have a look at those because that sounds interesting to me. I've got, I think, 3 or 4 Mercuries right now. And probably about the same on Roosevelt's. So all in all, I got about 10. I still have not found a barber anything. So that's on my bucket list still, is a barber anything. Oh, Whitman. Okay. I got you. Whitman. Good deal. Whitman, good deal, good deal. Brun says, I got to go now. I have rocks in the rock tumblers that needs rinse and sort. Oh, you're also a rock collector. You're just doing all sorts of stuff, aren't you? That's cool, though. I can't do too many things at one time. My age. So, yeah. But, Brun, I appreciate you dropping in, and I really enjoyed all of the chat, everything we talked about, and the things you were telling us. So, thanks for the chat, sharing all the fun info. Bye for now. We'll see you later, Brun, and I appreciate you stopping in. I really do. And so we're going just over an hour now, and been having a lot of good conversations here, and I've enjoyed it for sure. Does anybody got anything they want to throw in here and talk about before we start wrapping things up here in a few? I do want to, on my channel yesterday, I just dropped my podcast again. So if you hadn't seen that yet, check it out. Digging Darryl says, I found a barber quarter at the Ernest Hemingway home. I think I have a video showing it on my YouTube channel. That's the only barber you've ever found. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I still haven't found a barber anything. So, but yeah, that's pretty cool. The Ernest Hemingway home. So how did you get on that one? That's interesting. Pretty cool permission, I would say. But I would imagine if they allow, or if they've given permission. So how was that site? Was it pretty hunted out, Darryl? Or was it kind of fruitful? Let's see. I want to make sure I'm kind of caught up on all the comments here. I don't want to miss anybody. But by all means, get into that chat and throw a comment in. If you got something to say, throw it in there. But yeah, the podcast, I did that, dropped yesterday. And it, right now I'm doing that every other week. On Wednesday morning, it drops around 6 a.m. And, if you don't listen, you can also listen to that on Spotify and Apple Music. If you use any of those two and you just want to listen, it's on Spotify and Apple Music also. Workman's Adventures found 2 barber quarters in 1 yard. That's awesome. Gotta love that. Doesn't always happen that way, right? But when you start finding some really good finds, in one place, that's pretty awesome. Makes you feel good. For sure. Digging Dude, we are a bit spoiled finding lots of silver coins in New York City parks. Seated barbers, standing Washington Rosies, etc., and lots of Indian head pennies. I imagine. How is the park hunting in New York? Like, I don't know a whole lot about New York City. I know, I've heard about some of the parks there. And I don't know exactly how, permissions go and things like that as far as New York goes. But I'd be interested. Digging Darryl says it's a museum in Piggott, Arkansas, and we hunted it, and everything went to the museum. Okay. It has been hunted quite a bit years ago. All right, cool. Jess says, I'm impressed that anyone got permission for Hemingway's home, unless he had another home outside of Key West. And Darryl just answered that it was a museum. So Workman's barber quarters were one was $18.99 and a 1907. All right, cool. Digging Dude says NYC Park, you need a permit. It's free and you can only hunt certain parks on the list. Okay, but it's a long list. Okay, good. Yeah, I imagine you find some pretty old stuff there. Jess says New York must be amazing, but I think it'd be very hunted out. I don't know. Digging Dude, what's the Detectorist population in New York City? Are there a lot of people doing it? Okie Digger says, been trying so hard to find things deep, and last time found an Indian on top of the sidewalk under 1/2 inch of overgrown grass. Yeah. Oh, let me show you something, Okie. talk about deep. Sorry for showing everybody my backside there. But Digga says never hunted out. That is true. Quite a few people doing it. Yeah, don't ever think that a site's hunted out totally, because things get missed. All the time things get missed. But it's impossible to find everything. And sometimes there's so much trash that you have to get through layers of trash before you start finding really good stuff. So let me go back to Oki's comment real quick. You're talking about finding things deep, but let me show you real quick. This is, okay, I was wrong earlier. This is a 1940 British penny. It's a George VI. And if I get that to focus. It's not going to focus very well. I think it's my lighting. But this is a George VI. There we go. You can see a lot better right there. So that's a George VI English penny. And I found this penny. It was less than 3 inches. It was just underneath the surface of the dirt, but right at the edge of a root. So, and this is one again too, you can see it's got a hole in it that someone was using it as a necklace. So don't get trapped into that mindset that thinking all good targets are going to be deep, because they're not. And you know that what you found on the sidewalks, proof of that as well. Think of the population of people over the years in New York City and boroughs. Yeah. Plus there were a lot of, the history of New York City goes way back. I'll show you another good example, and this came from the same site, Oki. And this is one of my favorite finds right here. And it was maybe 3 inches in the dirt. And it's probably going to be hard to see. I thought it was junk when I was digging it. You can't see the name on it. But engraved on the front of this bracelet is the name Erling. And when you look at this side, I don't know if I'll be able to get that to focus or not. Right there, it says Sterling. So this is a sterling silver bracelet, all in one, fully intact, maybe 3 inches deep. Surprised the heck out of me, but you could see it really cleaned up well. And another reason why it cleaned up well is because it's silver. Silver cleans up quite well. So yeah, I found a lot of cool things on this side. I need to go back to this one. Here's a small tiny ring with a stone in it, a red stone. And I think it might be plated. It's either plated or it's junk. But I found this with the Mind Lab Extra Elite, and the signal was in the pull tab range. So there's another thing to think about as well, is even though they get frustrating as heck, right? Those pull tab signals are where the jewelry's going to be, at least most of the time. That's where your jewelry's going to be. But yeah, And you might think I'm crazy, but I keep some of my pull tabs also. Like this is a really, really old school one. It's like totally round. That's kind of neat. And I don't know, this one here was this is a big mouth, a big mouth pull tab. And I found one that said "Fight Litter" on it, so I kept that. It's just, but yeah, I'll stop with those right now. But yeah, it's Okie Digger says lesson learned. Got it. Digger Darryl says, could you imagine what would be found on the White House lawn? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I could only imagine what would be found there. Digger Dude says, awesome finds. Thanks, Digging Dude. Digging. Yeah, I'm sure that would happen, right? Ask if we can go dig it. Hey, if you get permission, count me in. Or don't forget about me. Digadoo says, dig pull tabs, people. Yes, yes. Dig them. Pull tabs, nickels, jewelry sounds similar. Got to dig them. That's right. I mean, the pull tabs, man, those things sound so sweet. Sometimes it's not even funny. They'll fool you every time. Yeah, they do get quite frustrating. But yeah, so we're an hour and 17 minutes in, and I do want to do a giveaway tonight, and I'm going to do this one different from the last one. I'm not going to be messing with that Nightbot thing, because that thing frustrates me. But let me pull something up here real quick. And so yeah, we're going to do it a little bit different tonight. And Miami Detectorist says, always dig pull tabs. Yep. Yep. Cool finds. Oh, thank you. Man, I've got a ton. I got a ton of finds I could show for a long time, but I'm not gonna go on and on with that. Maybe one day I'll do a little bit more of my finds. I tend to be more interested on what everybody else is finding. So nobody digs more pull tabs than Pastry. You know, you're right, man. Pastry, boy, he's something else. I love watching his videos. Man, he's a wealth of knowledge. He definitely knows a lot about the hobby, for sure. Yep. Digging Darryl, yeah. Pastry got me beat. Yeah, he's got me beat too, for sure. Maybe I need to give him the. I've got a design that I made that's about pull tabs. Maybe I need to give it to him. But yeah. But we're going to wrap it up here soon, and I just want everyone to know I appreciate each and every one of you that show up for the streams and participate, comment, whether it's, commenting amongst yourselves. I love to see the conversations in the chat. It's a chance for us to get together and just hang out, and that's kind of the way I approach it. At times I like to bring up certain topics or whatever when we talk about it, but just a place to hang out for a lot of like-minded people that just want to, talk detecting and things like that. And I'm working on something that hopefully I'll be able to bring it to fruition soon, I think that's the correct word to use. But I'm going to be looking at a community. I want to start a community It's not on Facebook. I got a love-hate relationship with Facebook. Facebook gets on my nerves sometimes. And I've been looking at a platform that's community-based, and I'm starting to build on that now. And I really like the things that can be done inside this platform, and it would be a place for detectorists to get together, like-minded people like us on the stream now, and people that just want to possibly learn. If you're a beginner, you want to learn more. I want to bring people together inside of a community to get together. And this community has features that go a lot further than what we could do on Facebook or even on YouTube. So, of course, you'd be able to do things like show finds and stuff like that, but we can put mini courses in there and things for you to look at. So this is something that I want to build, and I'm going to be looking for people with knowledge out there that might want to hop in the group. And if you're a helpful person, you like helping people, reach out to me, because I want to put, a few people in this group to start out that can help me build it to something that will be helpful for other detectors. And that's kind of the direction I'm going for that. So if you're interested in something like that, please let me know. And once I get this thing built out at a certain level, I want to start inviting some people. Like, I'm not going to just announce it to everyone. In the beginning, I'm going to invite a few people, start building it out, and because I want to take your input as to what you find helpful, not helpful, or, and it's for the metal detecting community. It's for the people who want to learn. And so, yeah. Gary Hull says, I would enjoy that kind of platform. Good. Thank you, Gary, for the input. Digger Darryl says, I'll help any way I can. I appreciate that, Darryl. I appreciate it. And we're getting close to an hour and a half. I was actually going to invite anybody that wanted to come on. I was going to invite them on. I'll tell you what, so the next live stream I do, I'm going to focus more towards the beginning. If any of you here, or you can pass the word to people that you might know if they want to come on the stream. If you want to come on the stream with me and introduce yourself and to the people here and just chat a little bit, you're more than welcome. I'll bring you on the stream and we can chit chat and get you up here if you're not shy. I know some people, there's no pressure. You don't have to do it, but some people might be shy about doing it. But Diggity says there's many aspects to detecting, too many one-sided opinions out there. Yep. You are exactly right, Digging Dude. I'm of the mindset that I don't think there's always just one way to do something. There are ways to do things that I think might be better than some other ways or whatever, but I want to help people learn. My way might not be always the best, but you're definitely right. There's a lot of people it's their way or the highway, or their way is the only way. I don't subscribe to that whole deal. So, and if somebody's got a way of showing something better than me, that's great. And that's why I want to start this community. Because if you're a knowledgeable person, just like Darryl said, he'd help when he can. I'm sure Darryl knows a lot of stuff that I don't even know, or things about certain detectors and stuff like that. I don't know everything. If we have a community, you can have people contribute and help each other. And excuse me. And it doesn't just have to be, me posting a video in there or here and there, all that stuff. So, but I'm rambling on right now, so let me keep going here. Jess says, I will also help whenever I can. Good. I appreciate that. And Digadoo says, I've been ripped on for using analog detectors in certain situations. There's a tool for every job. Absolutely right. There's a tool for every job. I don't believe on ripping on anybody for anything, really, when it comes to detecting, because metal detecting is a learning process. And that's just like, if you go to Buckle Boy Metal Detecting, or you go to his channel, and I think I've said this before, but if you go to his channel and you look back, over 90% of his videos are hunts in Louisiana in the old sugarcane fields, with a single frequency Fisher or Technetics detector. And he's killing it. He is flat finding all sorts of finds out there. And the man's using, a lot of people out there say, single frequency's dead, but if you go look at his channel, he could just watch it. Single frequency's not dead by any means. Gary says, I get off work at 5 and home by 5:30, Glendale, Oregon, so I miss a lot, but I want to take part in the conversation. Okay, so you're Oregon. You're what, 3 hours behind? Is that right? Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to set the time on live streams and things like that to try to I won't say please everyone, but you know what I mean. It's hard to set the times to where it's right for everybody, because somebody's going to miss out somewhere. And that's another reason why I wanted to do the community thing in there, because in this platform I'm looking at, there's chat, there's live rooms that you can use camera, no camera, if you just want audio. Like, I could go into this live room and send a message to the group, be like, hey, I'm hanging out in this live room if anybody wants to hang out, and then you could come in. So we got a lot more flexibility with times and stuff like that. So Digadoo says, I like the idea of this community. Maybe I'll come out of the woodwork. And you should come out of the woodwork. I'm sure you got a lot to share that you could share with people to help them out. And like I said, for me, that's what it's all about. Is for somebody that wants to get into this hobby and learn, I want to see him learn, and I want to see him be successful in the hunts, and anything I can do to help him do that, I'd like to. So I love my Deus 2, Rudis Versa, Tesauros, and Nexus. Yeah, I've heard a lot about Tesauros detectors too. Yeah, so this whole community thing is something I've been wanting to do, and it's not. I don't want it to be. And another reason why I don't really like the Facebook stuff and all is because it gets toxic. Like Diggin' Dude said, there's a lot of one-sided opinions and stuff like that, or you go in a group, some of these Facebook groups, you go in there and you ask a question as a beginner, and somebody's reply is, "Oh, just Google it," or they laugh at you or whatever. I mean, I'm not into all that. So, just help each other out. 5 miles in the house. Evening. How you doing, 5 Mile? Good to see you here. We are closing in on an hour and a half on the stream here. What time is it? 8:45. Okay. Anybody got anything else to add? Again, that's something I'm going to work on, and if I tell you what you do. Go. The Say Hey forum's not really set up for any like certain questions I might want to ask or whatever. But if you're interested in this group concept of being in a group like this, go to the Say Hey forum. Let me pull it up real quick. All right, there's a QR code coming up right there. Boom. The Say Hey Submit a Fine form. If you're interested, or if you got, go to that form and send me a message through the form, and let me know how you feel about it, or any ideas you might have. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Because when I first initially set this up, I want to set it up with just a few people, as I said earlier, to start, and to get the group off the ground. And I want to get a couple of people that are really fresh in the hobby, a couple of people kind of in the middle, and then maybe a couple of people that are that have a lot of experience. So to try to get this thing going. But there's the QR code for it right there. If you want to just pop that up on your phone real quick and just, don't fill it out right now, but if you want to pop it up so you got the link, I'll leave that up for just a minute. And, again, I want to do a giveaway. And, Gary made a comment. Let's see. So you've been at it for about 10. Awesome. But again, do the Say Hey form to submit, and let me get this giveaway going so we can. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Let me get rid of that QR code real quick. If you need me to pop that back up, just let me know, and I'm gonna do the giveaway a little bit different tonight, and this is how we're going to do it. If I can find the thing. All right. No, that's not what I want. Where did my iPad go? Okay. That's what I want. Bear with me a second. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, so I've got a number wheel right here, and whoever's here now, I got 5 tumblers over here behind me, and I got them numbered, and I'm going to spin the wheel, and whichever number it lands on, that's going to be the tumbler that's going to be given away. And then I'm going to get everybody's name, and I'll type it into the name picker, and we'll give away a tumbler tonight. How about that? Oh man, my comments must be lagging. I'm breaking up on your end. Oh goodness. I'm breaking up for you too, Okie. Can you hear me okay, Darryl? Okie and Gary said I'm breaking up. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to spin the wheel first to pick the tumbler. So can everybody see the wheel up on the screen now before I spin it? Good to go? Okay. So let's spin this wheel and pick a number. Jess says loud and clear down here. All right, Jess, thank you. All right, let's spin this wheel and pick a number. All right, let's see what the number is going to be. Number 2. Number 2. All right, here's number 2. Let me show you which one it is. And Workman's Adventures will be familiar with this one because he just won the shirt. All right, so here's the tumbler. And it has the if you lose it, I'll find it design on it. And these tumblers are pretty nice. I use one for my coffee every morning. They're double-walled, stainless steel, good for hot and cold. The lid fits really tight on these too, and I've tested it. You can put this lid on, and it will not spill. Now, I'm not going to do it over my keyboard right now, but trust me, I have tested this over my sink, and it does work. So this is going to be the tumbler we're going to give away. All right, that's the one we're going to give away tonight. And here's how I'm going to do. Let me get this going here. We're going to do tumbler. All right, so now I need to get everybody's name. So if you're here in the live stream right now, just type your, if you don't mind giving your first name out, just type your first name in the chat, and I'm going to start entering the names into this list to pick a winner. Or you can put your YouTube handle in there. That's fine if you want to do that. And I'm going to use this picker right here to pick the winner. All right, so we got Darryl, Andy, Jess, Michael, Gary. If you're here, make sure I get your name in here so you get a chance to win that tumbler. Larry. Okie Digger. I'm just going to put Okie for you, okay? Okie. And Talcum, my friend, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to, for the tumbler, I'm going to have to leave you out of this one. As much as I hate to, I won't be able to ship this to Chile. And I apologize for that, but I can only ship this in the U.S. Tina, you've been quiet here. I haven't seen you. But that's okay. I get it. But I love for people to chat. I love to see them in here. So right now, okay, here's what I got right now. We got Darryl, Andy, Jess, Michael, Gary, Larry, Okie, and Tina. Anybody else? Anybody else? All right, going once. Going twice. And hopefully my chat's not lagging too much. Okay, let me go ahead and start this up. So we got 8 names here. And I just got to set this up real quick. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's see. I'm going to make 2 winners. And the prizes will be the tumbler and a sticker pack. And by the way, I got some 3-inch stickers now. So whoever wins the sticker pack tonight will get the 3-inch sticker pack. And it's got, I'm sorry I don't have them out of the pack here, but it's got 4 stickers in it. It's got not every beep is trash, just most of them. The other one's passion, patience, persistence, success, easily distracted by beeps, and digger mom. Okay, so that's what's in that sticker pack. So we got that. Let me confirm that. So we got 2 things we're giving away. Tumbler, sticker pack. I'm going to bump this up to 15 seconds. And I'm going to pick these one by one. Okay, so what's going to happen when I confirm this and start it, it's going to pick one winner, and then it'll pick the second winner. Okay, I think it'll do the tumbler first. All right, so we got 9 people in for the drawing, and I can shuffle this, so I'm going to shuffle it a couple of times. Just so you know, there's not anything funny with me the way I'm typing them in. All right, so confirm. All right, here we go. Don't go away yet, Gary. All right, here we go. 15 seconds. Let's see who the winners are. Boom, Andy gets the tumbler. Andy has won the tumbler. Congratulations, Andy. Andy won the tumbler. Congrats. Okay, let's go to the next winner. This is for the sticker pack. Who's going to get the sticker pack? Michael. Michael wins the sticker pack tonight. All right. Congratulations, Michael. And congratulations, Andy, for the wins. At the bottom of my screen here, you're going to see my email scrolling. So send me an email with your address. And I'll get those items out to you ASAP. Oh, and I'm going to give you a shameless plug real quick. Or I'm going to throw a shameless plug in here. If you're interested in some of the tumbler designs that I've done, they're on Amazon. You'll see a QR code that just popped up. And for the type of tumbler you're getting here, they're pretty affordable. So if you've got like Amazon Prime, you'll get, it's not like 2 days, but you'll probably get it in less than a week, because they do, when you order it, they print it on the tumbler. Okay. So, but these are really nice. They're nice tumblers. And I believe the price is $20.99, I think. So if you're interested in looking at some of the designs that I do have on the tumblers on Amazon, go check them out. And I mean, these things print really surprisingly good. Just to give you an idea, here's the Beach Hunter tumbler. So yeah, that's a pretty decent price for a nice tumbler. It really is. A lot of tumblers you find out there are going to be a lot more. So, and there's a lot of designs on there. So, there's quite a few. All right, so I think we're going to wrap that up. But for the winners, make sure you get the email address there on the bottom. Send me an email with your address, and so I can get those items out to you. And let me get rid of the QR code there. Has anybody got anything else before we dip out of here? Man, we've been at it for an hour and 45 minutes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you can send a super sticker. You should be able to see that. Super sticker, super chat. It should be on there. Let's see. Y'all bear with me a second. Oh yeah, yeah. Awesome. Y'all bear with me a second. Dude sent a super sticker. I appreciate that, my friend. Much appreciated. Oh yeah, yeah. Awesome. Y'all bear with me. So thank you for that super sticker. I appreciate that. That's going to help with much appreciated with the shipping. Absolutely. Let me move that up. Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Awesome. Does it? The winners got my email? Y'all have my email. So thank you for that super sticker. I definitely appreciate that. That's going to help. I think you probably got it by now. Much appreciated. With easy DCM detects at Gmail. Absolutely. Let me move that up. Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Awesome. Does it? The winners got my email? Y'all have my email. Thank you for that super sticker. Definitely order. That's going to help. Somebody to choose from. I think you probably got it. You know what, Darryl? I appreciate with easy DCM detects. You wouldn't believe how long I've been working on on the. I've been doing these designs for. I appreciate that. Thank you. Awesome. At least a year already. The winners got my email. Y'all have my email. Thank you for that chapter in my life. Definitely order. That's going to help. I think you probably got it. You know what, Darryl? I appreciate with easy DCM. I always wouldn't believe how long I've been working on designs on t-shirts on neat stuff. I've been doing these designs for. I appreciate that. Thank you. There's quite at least a year already. The winners got my email. Y'all have my email. Thank you for that chapter in my life. Order. That's going to help. I think you probably got it. You know what, Darryl? I appreciate with easy DCM. I always wouldn't believe how long I've been working on designs on t-shirts on neat stuff. I've been doing these designs for. I appreciate that. Thank you. There's quite at least a year already. The winners got my email. Y'all have my email for that chapter in my life. Order. That's going to help. I think you probably got it. You know what, Darryl? I appreciate with easy DCM. I always wouldn't believe how long I've been working on designs on t-shirts on neat stuff. I've been doing these designs for. I appreciate that. Thank you. There's quite at least a year already. The winners got my email. Y'all have my email for that chapter in my life. Order. That's going to help. You know what, Darryl? I appreciate with easy DCM. I always wouldn't believe how long I've been working on designs on neat stuff. I've been doing these designs for. I appreciate that. Thank you. There's quite at least a year already. The winners got my email. Y'all have my email for that chapter in my life. Darryl, that's a shift DCM. I always wouldn't believe how long I've been working on it. I've been doing these designs for quite a popular name. There's quite at least a year already. Did the winners got my email? Since chapter in my life, Darryl, that's a shift DCM. I always wouldn't believe how long I've been working on it. I've been doing these designs for quite a popular name. There's quite at least a year already. Did the winners got my email? Since chapter in my life, Darryl, that's a shift DCM. I always wouldn't believe how long I've been working on it. I've been doing these designs for quite a popular name. There's quite at least a year already. Did the winners got my email? Since chapter in my life, Darryl, that's a shift DCM. I always wouldn't believe how long I've been I've been doing these designs for quite a popular name. There's quite at least a year already. Did the winners got my email? Since chapter in my life, Darryl, that's a shift DCM. I always wouldn't believe how long I've been I've been doing these designs for quite a popular name. There's quite at least a year already. Did the winners got my email? Since chapter in my life, Darryl, that's a shift DCM. I always wouldn't believe how long I've been I've been doing these designs for quite a popular name. There's quite at least a year already. Did the winners got my email? Since chapter in my life, Darryl, that's a shift DCM. I always wouldn't believe how long I've been I've been doing these designs for quite a popular name. There's quite at least a year already.